All right, new problem up here. In this word problem, what we're going to do, just like with any word problem, is we're going to contextualize. We're not here to rush and plug numbers in and hope that we get something. No, we're going to be calm, cool, and collected, and we're going to go straight to the question sentence. What is, so like the who, what, when, where, right here. So, what is his total bill? Sounds good. So, what we're looking for here is the total bill. And when we read through the story, when we read through the context, you're going to notice a specific pattern that's going to allow you to say that we are dealing with y equals mx plus b. And here's how I'm going to know. I know that we're dealing with y equals mx plus b because at some point they're going to talk about a beginning amount. At some point, they're going to talk about something that changes. And at some point, they're going to talk about the end result. My job right now is going to be to go through the story and understand what each of these pieces are so I can truly understand what the question is asking me to find. Watch this. So here we go. A streaming service charges a $12 monthly subscription fee plus $4 for each movie rented. So if Marcus rents 8 movies this month, what is his total bill? Again, for this specific month. So here we go. Everybody, when we think about it, we have the $12 that we're being charged up front. Then we add on top of that $4 for each movie rented. So if you think about this, we have $12 as the base fee. And then we're charged a rate of $4 per, again, the word or phrase for each. That's the same thing as saying per. So we're charging $4 per movie. And we see here that Marcus rents 8 movies. And so there we go. We have 8 movies being rented. And we want to know what the total bill is. So everybody who's here right now, if I were to say that we have this base fee of $12, we get charged more depending on the number of movies that we rent, and that'll give us our end result, y, would you agree with me if I said that y is what we're looking for, the end result, the total bill after all of those rentals? Is that fair to say? Awesome. And this is step 1 towards a really confident solution. So follow along with me now. Watch how much easier this is now that we know what we're trying to find. Let's take a look again. We have the base fee, $12 from the very get-go. It's a flat number. We don't get charged that again and again and again in the same month. It's just a one-time fee. So everyone, which letter, which value does 12 belong to? Yeah, the base fee, the beginning fee, what we have from the start, yeah, that is B right here. Let's highlight that. That is the base fee. So I will replace the B with 12. Next, I know that I'm looking for Y, so I'll write that down again. And now we really have to understand what the M and X are. So let me show you this. M and X are going to be the 4 and the 8. How do I know this? Right here again, it says $4 for each movie. That is the same as saying $4 per movie. That identifies the rate, and the word that comes after the word per or for each, that's the X. Because it's these two multiplied together that will give you that change in the cost. 4 per movie times 8 movies. Let's go ahead and write that down. 4 multiplied by 8. When we fill all of this in, everybody, help me out. 4 times 8 gives us what? Yeah, that'll be nice and easy, 32. And then we have the 12. So what does this really mean? Again, this is more important than just blindly calculating. We start off as a base fee of $12, and we actually got charged $32 extra for renting 8 movies. When we add up our total bill at the end of the month, we'll see that we are paying a total bill of $44. Boom, that is answer choice B, and it's only obtainable if we plugged the right values into the right places. And there we are. Looking at a triple ratio question, and I'll be honest, triple ratio questions can seem pretty intimidating, especially if you don't really have the confidence handling, regular proportion ratio questions. But let me show you something pretty neat here. So I'm going to treat this just like a regular word problem. I'm going to begin by just gathering what I want, gathering what I have, and then I'm going to figure out what the connection. What do you want? What do you have? What's the connection? So here, we're saying that if there are 25 juniors, how many veterans are there? So that's the comparison I'm given already. I am given that, hey, we have 25 juniors, but how many veterans? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write the comparison that I have right up top. When you're solving proportions, the biggest piece of advice that I can give is write the proportion based off of the question's comparison. Not the problem itself, but the question's sentence comparison. We've got juniors and veterans here and here. So that's what I'll do. That's what I'll compare. I'll just say juniors and I'll say veterans. And so from here, I'm going to draw this little vertical line to separate the actual proportion. But here we go. We have how many juniors, everybody? We have juniors here. How many? That is 25. Nice and easy. Okay, cool. So I'll go ahead and write 25 right up top. Remember to compare the same things in the same way. So juniors up top, 25 up top. Great. How many veterans? Well, that's what we're looking for. So I'll just say V. Now from here, on the right side, again, I sound like a broken record. I promised you I'd say this a million times today, but all we have to do is compare the same things in the same way. So when we take a look here, we have the ratio of juniors to seniors to veterans is 5 to 6 to 7. Okay, it's a little weird, right? A triple, not a double, but very doable. Everyone, if we respect the order that the ratio is written in, the 5 represents what? 5 is the first number, and we look at the first word, which is juniors. So we have 5 juniors, then we have 6 what? 6 represents the second number, which is seniors. Yep, right there, perfect. And then the last number is 7. What's the last word given? Because we have juniors first, seniors second, veterans third. Exactly. So when we take a look at all of this, do we have the values here that belong up here? Or do we need to do any manipulation? Do we have what we need, or do we need to manipulate? Yeah, we have what we need. So again, just be faithful to the comparison. Juniors up top, that's 5 right there. Perfect. I'll go ahead and throw a 5 right there. And then we have veterans on the bottom. So we're not going to use the 6. We're not going to use the seniors. We're going to use the 7. Boom, there we are. And so now we have exactly what we need. We have our proportion filled out, all except the missing value, which is the veterans on that left side. And that's it. We're good. We're ready to roll. So we can cross multiply and divide, or we can use the comparison method. But I'll just go ahead and do cross multiplication. We have V times 5, 5V, 25 times 7. We can figure that out nice and easy because we can just do 4 of them would end up being 100, and then the extra 3 is 75, so 175. But we can calculate 5 times 7 is 35. 2 times 7 is 14, carry the 3 is 17. So we have 5V equals 175. Last step, divide both sides by 5, and we get that answer, and we're good. So here, 5 into 175. 5 into 17 is 3. 2 left over. 5 going into 25, that's 5. No remainder. And so there it is. 35 is the correct answer. V equals 35. So the number of veterans. And so that is answer choice B. And there we go, everybody. Nice and easy.